Let us discuss now on some ideas that shapes nations in our human planet, power and the future of our world. Today, I want to reflect on a book that thrills me to the core. A book that doesn't just ask a question but demands an answer. It's Who Rules the World by Noam Chomsky. The title may be rhetorical, but Chomsky explains it quite literally, as well as he offers in detail comforting answers. This is not about conspiracies, and this is also not about utopia. It's all about power and how it is constructed, who benefits from it, and who suffers under it. Noam Chomsky, known as one of the most influential public intellectuals of our time, unveils the role of United States in global politics with crystal clear clarity, evidence, and reference. He exposes how often the United States violates its own democratic values and principles in the name of freedom, justice, and international security. For example, until 2008, Nelson Mandela, the very symbol of peace and reconciliation, was still listed as a terrorist by the State Department. Can we think about this one? Chomsky shows how American foreign policy is puzzled with double standards. In the world, the United States promotes people-to-people diplomacy, but in our world, it forges government-to-government deals, often with authoritarian regimes. Maybe it's not coincidence that the President Eisenhower once acknowledged that the anger in our world was not coming from the governments, but from the people. There's a chilling logic that runs through the book that Henry Kissinger once expressed: when a nation is out of America's grip, it becomes a virus, threatening to contaminate others. The US has backed dictators like Suharto, Sisi, Mobutu, Marcos, and only to discard other former allies, Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, even Osama bin Laden, when they were no longer useful to them. Regarding democracy, in 1973, United States supported a coup that destroyed Chilean democracy. In 2006, when Palestinians voted in a free and fair election that brought Hamas to power, the United States imposed sanctions, punishing them for choosing the wrong leaders. Chomsky also dives into the dark legacy of CIA torture programs, secret detentions in Guantanamo Bay and Abu Ghraib. Wars in Vietnam, Iraq, and Libya were launched with questionable or outright false evidence. Quite pertinently, Israeli military historian Martin van Creveld put it in the way: had the Iranians not tried to build nuclear weapons, they would be crazy. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is another recurring theme. Despite widespread international condemnation of Israeli illegal settlements and aggressive expansionisms, the United States remains complicit, ignoring the United Nations resolutions and blocking any real accountability. Chomsky reminds us that the words like peace and justice often sounds like hollow. And maybe, just maybe, with all these reasons, in 2003, a European poll named Israel the biggest threat to world peace. Just a decade later, in 2013, the United States itself was voted the greatest threat to world peace in a global Gallup survey. And that's not at all fabricated opinion. Chomsky warns us about the growing threat of nuclear war and the ongoing denial of the climate crisis. Both are very, very existential threats. Both are being mishandled or ignored by the United States. The United States, in search of energy dominance in the last century, continues to extract from the earth, disregarding the planet's future. Meanwhile, the media, corporate, consolidated, and often complicit, helps manufacture public consent, public opinion. It redirects our attention from injustice to consumerism, from activism to apathy. As Thorstein Veblen once said, the public has been turned into spectators, not participants in any functioning democracy. And yet, in the midst of all this list, there is hope. Chomsky says there are two superpowers in the world. One is United States, and the other one is active public opinion. People, movements, resistance. From climate strikes to Occupy Wall Street, from Gaza solidarity protests to indigenous land defenders, people around the globe, across the countries, are rising. They are questioning, they are organizing, they are refusing to be mere spectators. They want to be participators. Who rules the world? It's just not a book, it's more than that. It's a wake-up call, a challenge to look beyond headlines, beyond speeches, and into the structures, definitely complex structures of power that shapes our day-to-day lives. My takeaway from the book is, let not any person or demagogue, but let values and principles be the true masters of our mankind. Thank you for listening.